Turning to the latest on COVID, there are signs Omicron is fading, COVID infections declining across the U.S., while deaths continue to rise, and there is plenty of COVID to go around. In fact, we've continued to see different lab studies deal with learning about this evolving and mutating virus. There's a new one raising lots of interest, 33 scientists finding that CBD could prevent COVID from replicating in the human body. They observed real-life patients who were already taking CBD, which is associated with marijuana, to treat epilepsy, in addition to lab testing. The experts say a clinical trial would now be needed to draw any definitive conclusions, and this is a study about learning what's working. It is not advice about what to imbibe or take to fight COVID at this juncture. Now, one of the researchers from the CBD study joins us right now, Glenn Randall. Glenn Randall is a professor of microbiology at the University of Chicago. Welcome.
Hi, Ari. Nice to be on.
What did your study find?
Yeah, we started looking at CBD because it has some anti-inflammatory activity, and we thought maybe it would prevent this later stages of disease where inflammation goes haywire. And my colleague Marcia Rossner came up with the idea, and we tested it, and to our surprise, it actually directly blocks virus replication in lung cells. And so we tested it in animal models with our colleagues at University of Louisville, and animals taking CBD had significantly less replication. And then finally, as you mentioned, there are patients who take CBD. It's an FDA-approved version, not oils, to treat epilepsy. And then comparing patient records of those with other epileptic patients that were not taking CBD, there was a lot less CBD in that patient population. And so with that, we thought, interesting enough to publish last week and really to call for more definitive, well-defined human clinical trials to see, is there really some therapeutic potential now? Because I should emphasize, we don't know the answer to that question until we have those clinical trials.
Right, a lot more that's not known yet. CBD is associated with marijuana, but it's not the THC that people think of that gets you high. Your literature suggests you're dealing partly with people, as you mentioned, who were taking it anyway. In plain English, if possible, can you tell us what is it about CBD that did seem to work?
Yeah, so our body has genes that fight virus infection, and CBD activated those genes. And additionally turned off some of these bad players in the hyperinflammation. So it might actually be that CBD could work at sort of both stages of the COVID disease process.
And finally, I just want to emphasize this because there's so much information out there, and this is an interesting study, and we've talked to a lot of people. We had one of the first people to ever try the vaccine when it was experimental before all those studies. But if someone hears about this, reads about this online and says, oh, that means they want to then try to take CBD or marijuana to deal with COVID prevention, that's wrong because why?
So two reasons. First of all, we showed that THC, which is the active component of marijuana, actually blocks CBD's ability to work. So marijuana in our results should not have any effect. And then the second reason, of course, is CBD is no substitute for preventative approaches that we know work, like vaccines and masks from preventing serious disease. And so it shouldn't take the place of those better characterized approaches.
Got it. I got to say, for a scientist, you're pretty understandable. That's a journalistic tip of the hat, and I appreciate you walking us through your studies, sir.
All right. Thanks, all right. It's a pleasure being on.
Thank you.